ML Sports Take here, brought to you by Batavia Downs Gaming, Western OTB, and St. Bonaventure University's online masters in journalism. Log on to sbujournalism.com and become a Bonnie today. Your grad degree in under 2 years. Get your grad degree today at St. Bonaventure, sbujournalism.com. Quick recap on the game last night. The Bonnies sneak out of the RC with a win, 73-72. First half, a ton of thoughts are going through my head. Where's the crowd? Where are the students? Where's the noise? I mean, if I'm on a travel, bus or plane or whatever, and I'm heading to Olean for a game at the Riley Center, I'm no longer terrified of this place. I'm no longer terrified of a home crowd. What advantage do the Bonnies have at the RC at this point? I don't, I don't see an advantage. I don't hear an advantage. I don't feel, even through the screen, an advantage. And I know a lot of people have the same feeling right now. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that, but that's the first thing, right out of the chute. I'm like, man, another quiet crowd. This UMass team is just not good. They play a lot of guys. They did get some decent bench production in this game. I mean, obviously, the Bonnies had no answer for Hankins Sanford, who was all over the floor. Had 22 points, 11 rebounds. He had 3 steals. I mean, his hands were all over the place. A couple turnovers, but, man, mostly that box score was great. But the first half was, oh no, they look tired. Oh my goodness, they can't get a rebound on either side of the floor. What offensive play can you run that's going to be effective? Because everything looks predictable. Where's Brown? Where's Brown for the bailout? Guys are moving a little bit, and then they're not. There's stale possessions. The rebounding on the defensive side, was a major problem in terms of, obviously, UMass getting some second and third chance points. But when you looked at it, it went, I'm trying to find that a couple of key moments in the game here. It was nip and tuck until like 18-12, 21-12. Bonnies kind of, they're up double digits. UMass cut the lead down. Then it was 8 again. Then it was 6 again. Then 8 and 7. Then 5. Again, Council had that bad turnover. One of the Hankins Sanford steals in this game. And it turned out to be a 3-pointer for UMass. They cut the deficit. Then they, it's like 1 point and 2 point, 3 point. And then you get into that under 4-minute mark, and then kind of the offenses were really stale, actually going about a couple minutes before that. Just missed shots back and forth. Bonnie can't get a rebound. When they do, they miss a shot. Hinton got that defensive rebound with 5+ to go. Thompson missed the jumper. And then teams just kind of struggle. The next basket didn't happen until the 3:45 mark. Sanford again. And it was a tie game there. And then it was back and forth. Moore makes a dunk, obviously, and then Worthy gets a layup, and then the Bonnies, Jones got a layup. I thought he was the best overall player in this game. I really thought so, in terms of some plays that he made. And then Curry gets a layup, and they take a 1-point lead. But you thought maybe that last, especially 6-7 minute stretch where the offense just could not, even when Brown went out, you thought, okay, start to get some energy there. Thompson off the bench, maybe you can go on a little bit of a run. It was just, the shots weren't falling. The misses on defense were happening from an execution standpoint, from a coverage standpoint. And you really thought to yourself, oh, man, they're already out of gas. They already can't get rebounds. And it was just a really hard-fought game. UMass comes out, and Sanford, again, gets the jumper. They go up with the lead. And then it's like trading baskets right back and forth, 18-minute mark to 17-minute mark. They're going up and down. Diggins makes the 3 for them. Sanford with a layup. He's unstoppable. Then another offensive sort of, stall by both clubs all the way until Thompson makes free throws, right? Diggins gets a 3. They're up 4. And you're like, is it going to slip away? Is it going to slip away? Thompson makes the dunk. And again, the Bonnies slowly started to get some rebounds. They slowly started to kind of figure out a few things. There was a play there where it was beautifully executed for the Bonnies offensively. I know they can do this where they work to the middle of the floor and the kick to Hinton on the wing and he bangs it from 3. It's like those type of plays I still want to see. You've got, I've been screaming for this for 2 months or so. Schmidt's such a great offensive, he was called a genius by the color guy last night, offensive, a play caller, a genius out of timeouts. And I have no doubt that Schmidt can come up with a lot of great plays. We've seen it through the years. I'd love to see more of the mid-range game with this specific team, though. You've got a blend of different guys, a blend of skill sets, a blend of talent. And even though the depth, I don't know, again, sometimes they play 8 guys, sometimes they play 6, sometimes they play 7. bench guys don't seem to be ready. They didn't play a lot in the beginning of the year. I mean, it's the conundrum of this Bonnie's basketball team. It's been a completely weird year. They did win their 20th game last night, though. So for the 20-win people, there you go. Congratulations for that one. But I just see this team with the length and the talent of a Moore and the talent of a Council and what Jones can deliver, even though he struggled down the stretch, making mid-range cheapies. But they can work from that mid-range point. Catch just outside the low paint. Stop with this feeding Brown stuff. Get your athletes in the middle of the floor and deeper toward the rim. And then from there, guys come up. They back off. You got an open banger. You kick it out for the three. Again, I don't love this team chucking threes, but if they're wide open, sure, take them. You do that with any situation. But again, it's about the flow and the ball movement and where are guys and getting people in great space positions. I think they can do more of that. And again, it's early March here, but I thought that could have been happening when conference play started. I still think there could be a little bit more of it. Then you get into this 8-minute mark, and it's like trading free throws, hitting with that three. I talked about Diggins' free throws. It's kind of like a war of attrition here at this point, right? Like Brown makes a jumper. I didn't know what to think at that point. I mean, it's a 2-point game. And then you get down, and I got to be honest with everybody. Two things I got to be honest with. Number one, I said this was going to be quick, and I'm already almost at 7 minutes. And number two, down the stretch of this game, this is another reason why college basketball is so frustrating to watch these days. Every single damn time they got to go to the monitor. Go to the monitor. Go to the monitor. And the broadcast team kind of doesn't know what's going on. They're guessing at things. It's like, oh, look at that great picture right there. You see kind of coming up with content, right? It's like, look at the refs, look at the monitor. That's a great look at it right there, right? They get all those angles. You see that? They're looking at all those angles. You see that great shot of the monitor? I don't need to see that. We all know that they get that. We all know that the refs get that. I do stats for ESPN. You can see across it if you're a fan. If you don't see what the refs are looking at, you know that they're looking at the monitor with every possible angle of replay. We don't need to break down an angle that you're looking at on television. For crying out loud, the stuff that people come up with. But you've got a 1-point deficit here, and all you're doing is trying to hang on. Because in my opinion, the last 6, 7, 8 minutes, I mean, think about the non-execution of Bonaventure offensively, and really UMass for that matter, from the 8-minute mark. Think about it. Hinton makes that 3-pointer on that great executed play. And then it's Diggins' free throws. I mean, look, the final score was 73-72. At that point, it was 69-62. So St. Bonaventure only scored 4 points the last 7:55 of the game. UMass scored 10 points in the last 7:55 of the game. So when you look at it that way, Bonnet gets outscored 10-4 in the last under 8 minutes of the game, and they still hung on. I mean, you think about these possessions. I mean, it was misses. It was missing out on rebound chances, 3-pointers open, not executing, a lot of substitutions that didn't work. Jones had a great layup with 2:27, and then Hankins Sanford answers with that one layup. And then there's, back and forth stuff going on. Sanford misses, makes one of two. And, of course, the nervous part comes in. Jones had a great block, obviously, down the stretch. There's no question about that. But then you're looking at this, and Bonnet kind of got, a little lucky, I guess, because Sanford misses one of two, and then the rebound comes into UMass's hands, and then Sanford misses a jumper, with 45 to go, or 48 to go, seconds. And you're like, oh my gosh. And they get the dead ball team rebound, then they turn it over. Bonnet calls timeout. Brown misses the layup off the block. And you're like, holy cow, right? Like, what is going to happen in this game? Is this going to be like LaSalle? Is this going to be like a buzzer beater at the end? Because seriously, the way it was going back and forth, UMass, not a good team, easily sneaking out of that arena with a win was very possible. The last 8 minutes, I had all bad thoughts in my head. That's all I had in my head. I'm going to be honest with you. And the way we've seen this Bonnet team execute offensively, how inconsistent it's been, and then in that last 8 minutes to get only 4 points, and Jones had to make make a really clutch shot there. again, Brown, these are situations here where he's got the ball late in these games. And if that's how it's going to be in the A-10 tournament, they're not going anywhere. I don't want Noel Brown with the ball with a 1-point lead, go get me a basket. I don't want that. He's not their best player. He's not their second best player. He's not their third best player. And he's probably not their fourth best player. And he's certainly not a guy who can create baskets. When he gets the ball and scores, he's got to be way down low and one-on-one with somebody using both of his hands. Or he's got to be wide open getting a pass and they lost him on the weak side. Or it's a rebound and a putback. He can't create. He's not a perimeter guy to get in there. There's so many things he can't do. He can't create off the dribble. He can't read a double team from the other side. He sometimes shoots it and can't get his own rebound to tap it back. He's not great from the mid-range anymore. I mean, there's so many reasons to not give this guy the ball when it matters most. I am so sick and tired of this guy getting the basketball late in games when it matters most. I'm done with it. Enough already. You've got Council, you've got Moore, you've got Jones. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I'd even take Hinton at this point. I know he bombs a three, makes one, he thinks he's Steph Curry, but, come on now. He's a better option than Brown. And I would almost like going small. I mean, my God, this team can't rebound with him in there anyway. What's the point? I would almost rather go a little bit small, move some forwards down, use my bench. Maybe you put somebody in there and you have, forwards, guards who are going to go after it on the boards. You get a better chance to tip a ball out to somebody and get a rebound. I mean, Jones at this point is one of the most aggressive rebounders on the team. My God. So it just drives me crazy that Brown even has the ball, that anything's diagrammed for him, that it's planned for him late in a game, a 1-point game at home. I mean, if they're going to go to him late in these games in the A-10 tournament, this team is cooked. And they might be cooked anyway, but that is just another reason to make you not feel good about this team. Stop going to him when the game's on the line. Stop going to him when you're in a panic offensively. Stop going to him when the shot clock is running down for 40 minutes, all 40 minutes. It drives me banana land. So the block happens, UMass with the rebound, then Sanford misses the jumper, but the Jones block, I mean, I say missed jumper, but the Jones block on that was really a great play, right? You have the ball scrambling around, and Jones kind of comes across, gets it, gets the ball. You get the foul, again, back to the monitor. Oh, my God. Jones goes in the 1-and-1, and he misses. And you're like, holy hell. And down goes UMass with about 4 or 5 seconds to go, and they have it on the left corner, and it's literally, I mean, am I wrong here? It was like a foot away, maybe, from the LaSalle spot-ish, 2 feet, whatever it was, and Diggins misses it, and the Bonnies get the game. They get the win. So, it's unreal. It's unreal. I don't know how I can go 13, 14 minutes on these recaps. It doesn't feel like it. In the last minute or so, I want to just throw out like individual performances. I mean, these guys are asked to play a million minutes, and they gutted it out in this game. I do give some of these guys credit because they have just been, I mean, they are grinding and they are exhausted. Some of these guys, I mean, Chance Moore playing 40, no reason for it last night. No reason for it. Jones played 30 last night. Council 36. I mean, at this point of the year, I mean, I would love to see him between 30 and 34. The problem is the bench guys. What are you going to do there? You play these guys 3 minutes. Rose plays 3, does nothing. I just don't know what the bench is at this point, and it's too late in the year to figure anything out. They're going to ride these 5 guys, and I just don't see a tournament run coming. I just don't see it. They're not deep enough. The starters are asked to do so much. This is not Iron Men 2.0 where you can do that in a lot of spots where, you have a lot of that cohesion because they play together. This is the NIL portal. You can't do it. I mean, you got to build benches now more than ever because of this era of basketball. And Brown, again, you look at these box scores, and if you didn't watch Bonnie games, you go, oh, he's in double figures. He's this, he's that. He didn't even have a turnover last night. I'm still not happy with this guy's game. He didn't get a rebound. He didn't rebound a lick last night. He got 4. Shockingly enough, Bonaventure closed that gap, though, to 42-39 in the game, which was absolutely amazing that they were only within 3 rebounds. But I thought UMass cleaned up a lot of those boards in the first 31, 2 minutes. They got a couple down the stretch. Bonaventure got in there and got a couple down the stretch. That's how it goes. But I give, Moore, Jones, Council, Hinton, Brown, they gutted through this thing. They gutted through it. Hinton plays 30 minutes, 31 minutes, have fun. That's fine. But Council at 36, Moore at 40, holy smokes. Jones at 30, and technically last night I thought he was their best player. Made that big block. I had 5 turnovers. They were brutal. So from that standpoint, he wasn't their best player. But from a clutch standpoint, you think about making that big mid-range jumper and the block towards the end and getting 15 points and getting 6 rebounds and being active there. He had 3 blocks in the game. I know the turnovers happened, but it was kind of like a Johnny Flynn for me Syracuse game where you're going to take the 3, 4, 5 turnovers. Okay, but you're going to give me this. All right, we'll go there. Oh, Josh Allen, you're going to give me 320 yards and 3, 4 touchdowns on, through the air and 1 on the ground, and you're going to be Superman in the fourth quarter. You're going to throw 1 pick here, maybe even fumble in the second quarter, and we're going to win the game by a touchdown. You're going to be Josh Allen. Okay, put the cape on. All right, one of those type things. But they snuck out of there with a win, and my God, is this season over yet? There's one more game, and you know what? It's on the road, so I guess it's the same advantage of playing at home these days, right? I mean, what's happened to the Riley Center, man? Seriously, what has happened to the Riley Center? Batavia Downs Gaming, Stumbling Monkey Brewing Company, bringing you this ML Sports Take. The Bonnies beat UMass 73-72. I do want to remind everybody quickly to donate to the Shane Callaghan St. Bonaventure thing we got going on. This is the Memorial Lounge. One of my dear friends from college, taken way too early. One of the best people I've ever known. But just go ahead and Google in there, Shane Callaghan Memorial Lounge, Bonaventure, or whatever you want to do, or visit netcommunity.sbu.edu and plug in the search there. It'll come up. You'll see it. Shane's great face there. You can see. You can donate to the page. We're getting there. We're climbing. We got to get there by the end of the semester. So if everybody could just go to this thing, even just donate $3, $4, $5, $2, anything, as we just kind of load up on this thing and try to get to our number. We got to, about another couple months left to get this thing done. We're climbing, we're grinding. It's like we're playing 40 minutes a game, right, as a starter, every single game to get this thing going. But I love Shane. I will always love Shane. He was one of my dear friends. Donate today. We got to get this thing done. And, like I said, one of the best people I ever knew, and still feel like I know him because he's still with me. And we talked all the time in school about, he's like, you're going to work for one of the big sports channels. And I was like, you're going to work for ABC someday, and or CNN or whatever it would be, NBC. We talked all the time about this stuff. And he deserved that chance, man. He deserved the chance to not only have a long life as a person, because he was such a good dude, but the journalism part, I'm telling you, he was a star. He was going to be an absolute star in the business. So go donate $3 or $5. Every person does it. We get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people to do that. We're another quick $8,000, and we're off and running. We can hit this number. So the Shane Callaghan Memorial Lounge, go type it in, go Google it, and of course visit the sbu.edu site, netcommunity.sbu.edu, and you can search it right in there, Shane Callaghan Memorial Lounge. I went 18 minutes. I plan on going about 5. So, I guess I got my mother's gift to get. Mike Lindsley with you here. Thanks for watching. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.